Hello! This time no hi-fi content, but something new I've got to play with, which is the Mavo coffee scale. I got this one from Kickstarter, and this one just really finished, and I got it shipped a couple of days ago. And so far I'm really super happy with the scale. It is a very well made scale. It comes with a rubber mat to protect the scale against heat and splashes and so on. And it has got a nice color display and some touch buttons. So it doesn't really have got some real tactile buttons to switch on and off, but it's a touch screen only on the corners. And you've got 4 different functions that you can activate by using those buttons. It has got a couple of different menus that you can also just really switch through here on the top. So it has got 2 different pour over modes. It has got different espresso modi, and it also has got a very basic scale mode, which also allows you to use the timer, which is built in here as well. But today I just really would like to do some pour over, and that's why the pour over mode would be best suited. So switching to the pour over mode, it just shows you a symbol of a kind of a V60, and then you know you're in the pour over mode. And just really using the rubber mat as well. Just the scale itself, it's very well made. It is like aluminium and or metal, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty solid aluminium, and it has got some glass screen. It even comes with 2 different protectors for this glass screen. You can see also it's reflecting and shining. The quality of all of the surface and all of the machining is very good. The complete housing is sealed. It has got just really one opening, which is the one somewhere here to plug in your USB for charging. And from acquiring up until today, I brewed maybe like 10 different cups and had it running for quite some time. And I didn't need to recharge the batteries. I just really took it out of the box and used it straight away. The other nice thing that you can see about this one here is its size. So it also fits very narrow coffee machines and is really also usable for espresso. But I'm not want to give you a review or any kind of tutorial. It's just really showing you this is what I've got. This is a new one. You can buy it or not. I like it a lot. It was very let's say attractive in terms of price on Kickstarter. I think including shipping I paid €70 for it. And I don't think any Acaia scale, I'm not even sure if an Acaia scale would reach this level of manufacturing, but nevertheless fully totally comparable in my eyes. And the other thing that you can see already here now is that it has got a tilting screen, so it's similar like your mobile phone. You align it in a certain direction vertically up, and then you just really tilt the screen, and it moves the display according to what might be the most useful in the position that you're using it. And that is a very nice feature, because what I found useful, especially in some more constrained places, is to use it exactly like I show it to you right now. With the display on the right hand side, or maybe also with the display on the left hand side, but at least not in the conventional classic manner in which I would like to use it right now, which would be most people probably use it just really in the vertical position like this. So let's try brewing a coffee with it right now. I hope you can still also see the small little display on which I try to zoom on right now, so it becomes a little bit more clear, and what I'm doing is maybe not all that important for you if you're interested in the scales. Again, this is just me talking about the scale, no commercial interest, no affiliate links or any kind of sponsoring or any of that business. So first you start waiting your coffee, and what I'm gonna do here now is I do a little bit of a fancy brew that I came up with just really recently, and I just really tried it a couple of times, and I'll explain also why and what I'm doing. So using about 13 grams of coffee here, and then after weighing your coffee, it expects you that you just record your coffee weight to allow to display also, you can see here at the bottom, a live reading of the brewing ratio that you've got when doing your coffee. So you just really put your weight in. So now it knows the amount of coffee that you weighed. You can also, of course, grind the coffee first, and maybe that is actually also what would have been better in terms of workflow, because I'm not so sure if I can zero it another time, but let's find out. I'm not so familiar with the scale right now. So what I'm doing right now for brewing my coffee is I divide the coffee into kind of two equal let's say two equal sizes, so half, and I do this by eyesight, as you saw. I'm grinding one half, hope it's not getting too loud, at a grind size of 13 on my Timor 78, and the next one is I go down and grind a lot finer at 7, the remaining coffee. This is the total opposite of what you normally would do. If you would like to really explore the... oh, now it's switched off. If you like to really explore the very high clarity and so on, all of this modern bursts would give you. And this is what I like to drink my coffee also at most. But what I found very, very interesting is if you have got these two different grind sizes, it just doesn't wash out and mix all of this different flavor and aromas and so on, but instead it gives you more or less like two different perspectives of the coffee in just really one scale. And this is what makes it really interesting. So now you can see it doesn't really doesn't want to zero. So let's try starting all over on the display again. Now it shows me already like the brew would be finished, and I'm starting again. So let's try putting everything on scale right now at the moment. Then I do the zeroing. So now this is the better way of just really brewing it, or doing the brewing and adding your coffee directly straight into the filter, which is what I've just done right now. So now it has got the 13 grams that I weighted just before, and next thing is that the brewing phase is activated when it recognizes the first drops that come into your cup. And I'm just really heating up the water once more. It cooled down while I was rambling out about the scales, and then I'll start the brewing. Yeah, so the interesting bit that I found with these two different grindings is that it doesn't look like you're getting a more blurry impression of the coffee, but instead it's almost like you're in the dark, and instead of one flashlight you've got just two. So you see two different areas, and this is also how the taste of the coffee evolves. So it's really like you're getting at the same time two different impressions of the coffee. I found it quite interesting. Maybe it doesn't really cost an awful lot, so just really play with it at your own wish. I just really like it, but I vary my coffee all the time, so I don't really have got anything fixed. I also use coffee at TDS from 0.8, so almost like water, up until the strongest espresso that you can imagine. So what you could see right now, I did a kind of a 50-gram bloom, and here at the bottom also the timer started. We're at 30 seconds now. The coffee is reasonably fresh, so probably at about 40 seconds I will do my second and final pour. And that's what I'm gonna do right now, and I'm just really increasing my weight till the 200-gram mark, and do a nice and steady pour. Here on the right hand side of the display you can see also the flow. Oh, now I was looking too much at the scale without taking care about my pouring. So okay, too much talking, not concentrated on what I'm actually doing, but that's not so important right now anyway. So we ended up at 205.9 grams. The time is still running because the water is still dripping, and it gives the brewing ratio that we've got right now of 15.8, and I think this is a really nice feature. In the end, of course, you know how much weight of water you put in and what's the weight of your coffee, so you should also know your brewing ratio, but nevertheless I think it's a nice feature. And what is another nice feature here is in the second brewing mode, when you, and I'm just really try this because I'm not quite sure if I'm really in that mode, when you remove the coffee, it automatically stops the timer and it shows you the final display, what is more or less the data of your brew right now. So at the top left you could see it's displaying the brewing ratio again, which was this 15.8. Then it shows you about the average flow that you or flow rate that you used for your pouring for the two pours. Then the total weight and the total time, and at the bottom it just really shows you the graph of how the weight in your cup evolved, and you can see the first incline, very small incline that you can see, which was the pour to the bloom. Then the stagnation time was the blooming time, the weight didn't change, only the time was running, and then a bit wobbly it was my second and final pour to the 205 gram, which was a bit wobbly because I was not really concentrating on my pouring, and it even stopped shortly, and it ended up at the final weight. And after the pour was finished, you could see that this was the run time which was required to get all of the coffee through the filter, and there is the display. Those kind of graphs you can also recall in history. I don't know how much you can really store in memory. Maybe there's also the possibility of just really downloading all of this data through USB. Again, this is not a review, not a tutorial, I just got it. It's really fun. I think for just really 70 euro, which I paid roughly on Kickstarter, including shipping, it's an incredible, unbelievable deal. But I think that the scale also sells at to me at least only 129 euro or dollar or something in that range, at which it still will be a very good price, at least if you ask me. Has got a couple of really nice features. Also, what I like a lot is once you switch it off, it just really slowly dims your screen until it's finally off. You can also adjust the time at which it times out and switches off automatically. But I just really show you, and it's just nice. You saw that it slowly fades out and finally is off. Really nice, very fun to play with. I'm very happy with this, and maybe that's something for you as well.